Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Not Worth a Cork podcast. We are tonight sampling some delectable Johnnie Walkers, leading up to a very fancy-looking one, which we'll share later on. I am Dave, obviously. Joining me this evening is Meg, as normal. Say hi, Meg.
So you're Dave now, are you? Okay.
Well, Dave, whatever.
Hi. I like he said he said delectable. That was an interesting one, especially considering the one we start with is one I usually dunk on.
Yes, well, we'll overall averaging here. You know,
I've been done dirty with this one before because I've been given a litre of it as a present, and it cost as much as at the time a litre of Johnnie Walker Black, and I was like, but why? Why red? I know red is for winners, but there are exceptions. How is David, by the way?
David is cutting out
Stop. I'm red, basically. I'm being done dirty by Discord, apparently. You're roboting them massively as well, though. I don't actually understand that. If I close one of my windows and go through a few things that might run in the background. David is. Okay.
I'll do Discord.
To those who listen to this on playback, because I'm not editing this out, I'm really sorry. Genuinely, but we can't guarantee these will work all the time on Discord. And as I'm recording this, I think it's funnier to faff. We are going to be looking at Johnnie Walker. Now, we have done a Not Worth a Cork before on Johnnie Walker. It was at David's flat last year. It was fun, but we didn't have the lapel mics. The audio was horrendous. The thumbnail, the bottles had condensation on, so the image is slightly darker, and I'm sure Leona, being the lovely person that she is, could well go and get it for us as a thing, or David could link it if he can be asked, or if I could be asked, but I can't be asked. So you'd be able to hear some rather horrendous audio and us. It's Johnnie Walker. I think it was like the second or third stream we did last year. Leona, thank you for that. We went through some of these then. There was a few we didn't. In fact, I don't believe we compared two, like the greens. We didn't do the red, and we didn't touch the last one on the list that we have a sample of. But I will admit, I'm half tempted to ask David to ask the guy in the whiskey shop to try and get it in, because they still have it somewhere, so I could buy that, because I think it is quite nice. And I did look, because I have a bottle of Johnnie Walker Blue by Blue Icons 2.0, and I thought, ooh, mine looks nicer as a bottle design. Is what's inside any different? The answer is no. It's not. So my bottle in the thumbnail on Discord, and I'll put it on. A link. Oh, fuck off! I'll link it in the. I'll link it in this episode when I put it on YouTube tomorrow. It's Am I roboting?
Yeah, I've got one as well.
Okay. Well, I can't fix that because I have nothing running. Virtually nothing running. There's nothing on my end. But I will quickly go change my my location. Can I do that? Oh, fuck off with the streamer mode. Thank you. Enable streamer mode. Turn it off. There we go. Can I change my location? I don't know if that'll help. I don't know how you do that. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother because I don't know how to do it. Oh, you're red and you're muted. Oh, well, in that case, then it's not our fault. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought. You can barely. Okay. Right. Well, I'm going to hit stop
back
on
to
that.
green again at the minute. I don't know what's going on. Mine keeps flashing red to green.
I was about to hit stop. I've gone green as well, so I guess we're okay. I was a bit dejected then. This is a real roller coaster of an evening. I don't know how to change regions, and I'm not going to yet. Although if you can tell me how to in the chat and Discord, Leon, I'd appreciate that. and if it happens again, we will both then do it. It's not that. It's,
Well, we've all just got disconnected on my screen for about 2 seconds.
Just to make this clear, I know how to do it. I just haven't done it in so long. I don't know where anything is anymore. So I've done it before because I change server settings all the time. I don't know where it is for users. But yeah, anyway, we're going to do Johnnie Walker because I lost my train of thought originally, and go through some of the ones that are on the thumbnail that we didn't actually touch. In fact, 2 of them on the thumbnail we didn't touch. But what I was going to say, Johnnie Walker Blue, that was it. Blue Icons is no different to the standard Johnnie Walker Blue. I looked it up. The flavour profile is identical. The same cannot be said for Ice Chalet. And that's important, I think. Ice Chalet, whereas every year they do New Year's, they do Chinese New Year ones now. They do other limited edition bottle designs for Blue. They haven't changed the flavour profile for any, but they did for Ice Chalet. But that's not where we're starting. We're going with the one that you could buy 15 bottles of before you could get your hands on the last one.
Yeah.
And I know which one I'd rather have.
Starting at the bottom.
Yeah,
very much, definitely so.
Starting at the bottom, yeah. Okay, so we're going to be starting with Johnnie Walker Red, which is, for those on YouTube, is on the screen now for you to see. It costs like £20 a bottle. It's a screw top. It's deserving of that. In fact, the very first time I ever saw this bottle in existence, it was David that had it. It was in his living room at his parents' house because he had his own living room. Yes, middle class or what? And he had a little tray, and on there was a Johnnie Walker Red, a Johnnie Walker Black, a Johnnie Walker Black water jug, which he still uses, and a few other bits. I think Jameson might be on there. Jamison, sorry. This is rated currently 3 out of 5 with 204 reviews on Master of Malt, and it has 12 Spirit Awards. Its most recent win was in 2020. Blended no age statement at the Scotch Whisky Masters, which is impressive.
See, that's interesting. Because according to the Whisky Shop website, its most recent win was in 2021.
I'm scared.
Where it got a double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits competition.
So it says here.
Well, it doesn't say for what.
That doesn't help. Although it is part, to be fair, they probably just haven't updated it on the Master of Malt site because it's got 12 Spirit Awards. The 1 year difference means very little, but you are right to reference it. In that case, it has 13 Spirit Awards. Most of them are silvers and golds. They got a first place. That's still gold, really, isn't it? It has surprisingly long flavour notes. It was created in 1909. Which tells us who we know who to blame for that. Yes, they will be paid. They'll be made to pay for that. It's very affordable, cheap, and yeah. Everything Johnnie Walker is blended. I don't know what goes into Johnnie Walker Red, but I would assume based on the amount of it produced, it has to be something cheap. It has to be something they make a lot of. And I got given a bottle of this, a litre of this for Christmas once by a friend of the family. I did not drink it. I gave it to my father because I was like, I am never going to drink a litre of Johnnie Walker Red. In fact, when I went to my metal tin that has red in it, I opened the book because last time I opened it, I had whiskey sours. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Talking too much and not breathing, apparently. I realised that it is one of those ones I'm just never going to go to. I'm never going to buy it knowingly, really. I've got the tin because I had that for Johnnie Walker Red and Black, and that's about it, really. I'll be honest. I'll get some of the reviews in a minute, but what are your thoughts on Johnnie Walker Red?
I want to say it's what I used to drink as a mixer when I used to mix, but as I don't drink fizzy anymore, it doesn't really get touched because, yeah, I only really use it to mix. Don't think it went well the last time we tried it.
Yeah, that was
because I seem to remember the reason this 5cl bottle has like a third out of it is that we each tried a little bit and went no.
Oh, right. So the whiskey sours were done with my full bottle. You're talking about something else. Yeah, you're right. I'm not against Johnnie Walker Red. I know why it exists, but based on its price point, my thought is, why bother when Johnnie Walker Black is barely any more? I would rather just buy black, and I've got litres of Johnnie Walker Black. So do you.
Yes.
David
I established the other day how much I had, which is quite worrying.
Well, I have, ignoring anything I've been sent off the wish list, because that's in the cabinet in here, and I'm never touching that stuff yet. I have one double black, ignoring the origins as well. Go with the standard black. I have one 1 litre, a 70 cl, and another 70 cl. So I have 2.4 litres worth, which is one very good evening.
Yes. I have 370 cls of black and the same of double black.
You also have a 1 litre bottle I gave you.
Yes, one of the double blacks might actually be a 1 litre. Yes, you're right.
No, black. I gave you a black that was 1 litre because it came in a box. Remember?
Oh, I'll have to check.
I had 2 of them.
I'll have to check.
I had 2 litres because it wasn't the bottles I wanted. It came with a centenary gold bottle, a 20 cl of it. And I wanted that. And I was like, well, it wasn't that expensive, so I'm going to buy all of it. I don't care. It was worth it. Centenary.
Yes.
Okay.
Centenary is good. I have 3 bottles of that as well.
Yes, you do. Okay, so shall we come on? I will. It's all screw top, so I'm very sorry. There's no because I've got Wizzy on the lap, and I'm not going to pull her off right now. She's feeling very vulnerable, apparently. I'm gonna. It just sounds like someone peeing into a toilet, doesn't it? Okay, right. Well, perfect. I didn't bother with the nosing glass. I probably should have for some of these. But then I thought, if I'm going to do a nosing glass for Johnnie Walker Red, I feel like I'm on the wrong side of history. I could have sworn people get wrote up for less in The Hague. No,
you want the big glass of that to get all the spirit off it. You want to be able to get the spirit away, so you actually get something that's whiskey.
I'd rather use this to clean the glass first, then put the real whiskey in afterwards. The Patterson thing, the guy with the.
It's not a bad idea, to be fair.
Just swivel it around and
I'm not sure
launch
the carpet
it.
would appreciate it, but
my bathroom door's shut. It's fine. And to be fair, my rug in here, I've just picked up all the bloody clumps of black hair off Sizzle's on the rug. Took ages. I was so annoyed. I don't know how she pulls these out without me noticing. Anyway, so it says here on the nose, a surprisingly rich aromatic nose with heather, honey, mixed peels, soft smoke, and rum spice. How you define this to be rum spice is an interesting one to me because I don't quite get where they're drawing that from, right?
No. I'm guessing it must be one of the blends that's in it is something they use for perhaps one of the rum cask finishes or something.
Yeah, because it can't be a rum cask itself because there's no way they'd put that in this and not sell it as such.
No, not for something this entry level.
On the nose, I smell.
You by any chance smell the soft smoke?
Nope.
Yeah, see, I do. I don't smell anything else.
I smell something slightly woody, and that's about it. It says surprisingly rich. I assume that's the difference between Johnnie Walker Red and Johnnie Walker Green. Like, what are you expecting us to get? Some fruits out of this? I get nothing. I'm sorry. I get what's on the palate, oddly enough, on the nose a bit more. Anyway, cheers. Clink.
Cheers.
This is going to be a disappointing one. Yeah, very woody and malty.
Quite sharp.
Yes. It says aniseed, but that's not aniseed. This is very... Okay, so I had this idea for a stream, and Johnnie Walker Red was oddly enough something I was considering to put into it. I'm still kind of on the... I might be interested in doing it. Yesterday I went into my co-op and saw they had a bottle of Hague for 10.
Oh yeah, I saw you post on the Instagram.
Right, it retails for so much more, and they sold it for a tenner. And I was like, I'm not against this because I think it's funny. The bottle looks amazing, but the contents are genuinely awful.
Yeah, because weirdly, that's the in theory better one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's a lie. We all know what the superior one is, Mediterranean orange. And
yeah,
I was thinking to myself, oh, it would be a great idea for a stream to revisit whiskies we just don't like.
You're just trying to get me to drink more Glenfiddich 12, aren't you?
I was thinking like Hague, Red. I was thinking Pogues. You know, go through whiskies. Old Pulteney,
Hudart, I didn't like.
Like, go through some and just ones that Tale of the Forest. You know, things that didn't resonate, and see if we could. You know, and Johnny.
Yeah, but we know that one works with water, though. This is the problem.
Yeah, but can it work without it? That's the point. I thought, you know, Johnnie Walker Red's a great example of something that I've still never been that impressed with, and you have no reason to, because this is the their version of what, you know, many of the entry levels are. However, if I've got £20, I'm going to buy Jameson or Monkey Shoulder.
Yeah,
Monkey Shoulder has a cork on it and a really cool bottle. Johnnie Walker Red is not. It's not horrendous. It's just not. No, it's not on my wish list for a reason.
23 quid on offer, Auchentoshan and American Oak.
I would rather have that. In fact, I could name. We could both name about 10 whiskies that cost about the same. Half of them are Irish that I would rather have. Not a joke, though, is it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the Irish do have a good handle on that kind of entry-level price point, decent whiskey market, don't they?
They do, and this is sharp. It says the finish is long, spiced nose with smoke on the tail. So I get no smoke. It's not long. It's very sharp on the finish. It's not a long finish. It's slightly creamier towards the end, maybe slightly butterscotchy, but not really.
Yeah.
I can understand why it's won so many awards in the blended categories, and also this whiskey has, for the longest time, Johnnie Walker was for decades the biggest selling whiskey in the world, around the world. Sorry, and rightly so, especially with what happens when you go from red all the way up to blue. Like, the separation between red and blue is astonishing. I'm just glad this doesn't have an age statement.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. We don't have to hold it for a certain time.
Thank the Lord, because I really don't want that in my mouth for too long.
No.
That's what he said.
Yeah. But I suppose it goes to show kind of the way they make the whiskies and what they target it at, because this is, if you're not into whiskey or don't like big flavours, or you're not sure you're going to like a whiskey, this isn't terrible. This isn't too bad. You could give this to someone to try. And so as the range progresses, they start adding other bits in, which obviously make them a bit more sophisticated or a bit more challenging on the palate. So you can kind of see the progression, which is kind of nice in some ways.
It's very interesting because you think about the standard Johnnie Walkers, right? The standard, what they are now, is red, black, green, gold reserve, and blue.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's no age statement. 12-15, no age statement, no age statement.
Yes.
I find that quite interesting.
Yeah, back in the good old days.
I saw something interesting the other day. So
gold, 15, 18, and blue.
Yeah, I was looking up, when I looked up your... I was curious about the English whiskies, their coronation one, the anniversary one. I looked up Johnny. If you want to look it up for yourself, just Google Johnnie Walker Gold Reserve Bullion Bottle and see how much it costs to buy one.
I am Googling.
Because I bought one of those from the shop round the corner and he charged me 25 quid for it. I was quietly impressed when I saw one retailer had it ridiculously high compared to what I paid for it.
Well, no price on that one. That's not helpful. How dare you not have it?
It's not on Master and Malt Buddy.
No, well, I have Googled and it's not really appearing obvious.
Okay, but that's unfortunate because I had it and the number was much higher. Never mind.
195. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I thought that was quite a nice little return on that, because I've got 2 bottles of reserve, and that one is obviously not going to be opened because the bottle is what. It's not really the contents that's worth anything. It's the bottle itself. And Gold Reserve isn't that good anyway.
See, I don't even have a bottle of Gold Reserve. I never actually got one.
I think I have one behind the bar. I think I've got the bullion one. I might have a standard, I don't know. I've never really gone out of my way to buy it because, again, I've got gold. 18 gold, that is. Centenary gold. And 18 gold. So I'm not really...
You have the OG gold, and why would you need a lesser substitute?
I don't like this. I'm not anti-red. I know that you know when you ever had a drink that when you've done a shot of it just sits really badly in the stomach like vodka or something. This falls in that category for me.
This is the exception to the rule of red is for winners, isn't it?
It is. It is the one that challenges the theory. I did want the Icon bottle because I've got the Icon gold bottle.
Yeah,
I've got the Icon
one,
blue. I've got the Icon black bottle. I don't have the Icon red one. But I don't want to buy another bottle of Johnnie Walker Red just to get the bottle, you know.
You buy a bottle on eBay?
Probably could. It'd be a cost of £5, and I don't want to spend a £5 on that right now. I don't want to do this shot because I don't have a funnel. Might just grab another glass. I don't know. I'll have to send it, won't I? I can't leave it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going
Let's send it. Let's be done with it. Let's go on to one we all want to have, which is the Johnnie Walker Black.
YOLO swag fam.
YOLO swag fam.
Easy shot.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's not nice. Johnnie Walker Red is blasphemy, to be honest. I might argue, and this might be slightly contentious and controversial, I think it might be Shitsky.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Ugh.
Other than the fact that means it's going to be in another stream at some point.
Yeah, but feel the pain of trying to drink that. Bells, teachers, grants, grouse. And pokes, maybe. Like, the standards are just horrendous anyway. How are we going to get... And maybe Jacobite. Like, how are we going to get through it anyway?
I feel like we're going to have a poke. We're going to do that as the episode, and then we're going to sit there, finish, come offline, and be like, right, where's the English?
Yeah.
To counteract all of this with something good.
Panther piss. Oh, Bri, that's brilliant. Johnnie Walker Red is commonly referred to as panther piss. I love that. I like calling these. I like that I've coined the term shitski because that kind of works. I mean, that makes me happy because I've come up with something. But panther piss for this kind of works. The issue with Johnnie Walker Red is it doesn't need to exist. They keep it there because it's part of the family, but the flavour is pointless. My dad has it in old fashions, but in old fashions you got bitters that are massively overpowering flavours anyway. And that's not a dig at my dad. Yeah. He'll concede that point. That's not a dig either.
Actually, that's a point. The pre-done Johnnie Walker old fashions, and I could probably go and check this because there's one in the fridge downstairs. Do we know which Johnnie Walker is in it? Is it red?
In what?
Those pre-made Johnnie Walker old fashions that you can buy.
I don't know, but the one you bought accidentally extra is behind my bar, and if Lizzie wasn't on my lap, I'd go and get it. Chances are it'd be red or black. It wouldn't matter though.
Yeah, I'm googling to see if I can see.
The thing really is, it's the only way these kind of drinks work. It's why on Master Malt this has such low rating, and I'll prove that. So it says here 2.5, surprisingly okay, not terrible. Mid-range Scotch, still a classic. No frills. Let's see. Cheap and available, but if there's no other available. Not as bad as I remember. Definitely dry end, alcoholic feel, not great. There are positives. This is totally entry-level stuff. If Johnny get the black one, both black and double black have better times, but still are decent and can be called a whiskey. Yeah. Leather and oak, my least favourite whiskey. Scotch tastes like a mixture of leather and oak. Right, get down the drain, pour. Yeah, it's not well received at all. It's mostly the most number of comments is 4. Sorry, apparently. Those 4-star reviews are from people who don't know what their taste buds are meant to be. Don't be a knob. And I just want to show something for those who are interested. I'm going to type Hague. I mentioned it earlier, and I'll be showing this on YouTube, obviously. Hague, £50 for a bottle of this on Master of Malt. Yeah, I got this for £10 in my local Cork. They had one; it was clearance. I assume they found it in their warehouse, and it's not worth 50 quid. I promise you this is not. But the reviews at the bottom: a fresh can of petrol, undrinkable, nasty, horrible. No star on one, says act, it was worth a try, not 17 quid wasted. I have no intention of using it, to be honest. I just thought £10, it can be used for cocktails like an old fashioned with Dad at some point.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd show you this before we move on to the next one, which is on the screen for those who are watching.
So I can't actually find which whiskey it is in the old fashioned, the premix. Even on the label, it doesn't actually say. It just says iconic Johnnie Walker blended Scotch whiskey.
So on Master of Malt, they have a Johnnie Walker not so old fashioned gift set, and it comes with the orange slices, the syrup, and it uses a 20cl bottle of Johnnie Walker Black Label, or 35cl, not 20. I only mention this because I do think that it's more likely to be Johnnie Walker Black. Red is just so sharp, and we've done a bottle of that before. Even with the bitters, we'd taste it. We really would.
Yeah.
And I would say, yes, for those who are wondering, Johnnie Walker Red is not worth a cork. It's barely worth a screw top. Seriously.
Yeah. What it actually should have is one of those anti-tamper, childproof like caps that's on like bottles of bleach.
Oh, the ones you pinch on either side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I fully support every bottle of Johnnie Walker Red being padlocked. And feel free to use it, Bryce says. Just remember to send me the royalties. Well, of course, we'll make sure to send you them eventually. Okay, so next on the list, and I've agwood already.
That's alright.
Yep. Is Johnnie Walker Black Label. Now, Johnnie Walker Black, David and I have a very deep, very intense, very intimate relationship. We love to get blacked by Johnny. There has rarely been a time where I've ever said no. In fact, I don't believe I've ever said no to someone offering me to get blacked by Johnny. What about yourself, David?
No, this would be the one way to test if Meg was ever seriously ill. If you're worried about him, just offer him a glass of Johnnie Walker Black. If he turns it down, get him to a hospital immediately. He's like on his deathbed at that point.
Oh shit, wrong person. Okay, that makes. To be fair, that isn't totally inaccurate. I genuinely have never turned down a glass of Johnnie Walker Black. It can't be done. And David's he's barely any different. So he may be deflecting this onto me, but he's had and probably gone through more black than I have. And most of it's been drunk together anyway. So yeah, we have a good relationship with Johnnie Walker Black Label because it's one of those whiskies I do think is worth a cork, but based on how we've drunk it in the past, it should be a screw top because a cork is wasted.
Yes.
It is a 12-year-old blended Scotch, much like Johnnie Walker Red. It has 12 Spirit Awards. Its most recent from 2022, where it won the Scotch Whisky Masters Gold for up to 12-year-old whiskies from the spirits business, which is fantastic. Very successful. This is... Sorry?
So again, this is a difference because I'm on the whiskey shop. Because I got both, I got that and Master Malt open for each one. On the whiskey shop, it won a silver at the International Wine and Spirits Competition 2024, and it also won a blended whiskey gold medal at the Whisky Club Members' Choice Awards in 2024.
So we'll assume, because the latter especially is not going to be acknowledged on Master of Malt,
well, yes, true.
that the whiskey Master of Malt hasn't updated to include those. That would make sense, because keeping up to date with the hundreds, probably thousands of different whiskies you have available is not going to be the easiest task for someone to go through. But there's a very good point.
Different awards there are now, rather than years ago when it used to be like 3 or 4 a year. There's now like 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah, true. It says here that Johnnie Walker Black has a long history dating back to the 19th century, when John Walker and Sons of some shitty place called Kilmarnock had 3 blends in ascending order of age and price: Old Highland, Special Old Highland, and Extra Special Old Highland. These had white, red, and black labels. They were known by their colour. The 3 blends were relaunched as White Label, which is a 5-year-old, Red Label, which is a 9-year-old, and Black Label, a 12-year-old. 9. That interesting. I've had a better nine in my mouth.
There's your 9 years on YouTube poll.
I honestly, if I
Could have had that.
I haven't bought that Lagavulin. So Red Label lost its age statement. White Label disappeared, which it technically didn't. We have the centenary edition, don't we? No, the anniversary one, the whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The classic 12-year-old Black Label is a blend majoring on Diageo's Four Corners. Four Corners being Highland, Lowland, Speyside, and Islay. Not in Islands or Island and Campbelltowns, because Diageo don't have any Campbelltowns anyway. And the islands, they have some, like Talisker, but that is a flavour they're going to use in something else later. This focuses on Glenellish, Cardew, Glenkinchie, and Cameron Bridge, with a little smoke from Kalila. Now, I've never had Cameron Bridge. Glenkinchie and I have a good working relationship. Cardew, I've got a 12. It's not bad. I've had the Amber Gold, whatever it's called, the Gold Reserve, whatever. Glenellish,
Yes,
I've never.
Gold.
I don't think we've had a Glenellish before, have we? Or did we have a sample?
I feel like we might have had a sample of it at some point.
Yeah,
but
we
I
had a
don't
sample
think
of the
either us
14.
have had lots of it.
Yeah, we've only ever had the sample of the 14. It's probably in my whiskey notebooks, to be fair, if they were in the other room. If I'd brought them in here, which I was going to, you'd be able to tell. It is one of the most successful, and at university for us, certainly when we played FIFA, or just drinking sessions where we got a bit blotted, it was usually at his place, and Black Label would come out, and it would be a shot thing. I mentioned on Twitch the other day, last time I had Johnnie Walker Black as Dave offered me a glass. He poured me a glass, turned around to pour himself one, looked back, mine was gone. He thought he hadn't poured me one.
I did. This is true.
Because I legit had just looked at it and gone, yonk, gone.
In the 5 seconds it took me to pour my glass, he downed it and sat back as if nothing had happened.
Yeah, David, where's my drink, mate? You're not offering me one? That's a bit rude. I came all this way up here to have a drink with you and you didn't even pour me up a glass of Johnnie Walker Black.
Yeah.
Why'd you stint on me? Why did you actually, because you're the one that introduced me to Johnnie Walker, what made you choose Johnnie Walker? Like, why did you go to Johnnie Walker in the first place?
So, I think my aunt is to blame for this.
I'll be sure to blame her at some point. Am I no will?
To be fair, she's the one that got me the double black that I have in the swanky case.
Oh, not the...
She, for a long time, has bought me a bottle of whiskey at Christmas. And a lot of the time, it's been a bottle of Johnnie Walker Black or Double Black. I don't particularly know why. I think it's because her husband used to drink Johnnie Walker.
Oh.
So she's here, not so much nowadays, but certainly years back, she was buying me a bottle of whiskey each Christmas, and it was normally a Johnnie Walker of some form.
Well, that's lovely.
So over time, I've had a few from that, and then obviously I tried some other ones, and expanded the collection. I can't remember how I found out about the Gold Centenary, but that was, I think, that was set from Master of Malt.
That was me, because I bought the sample. I've got the photos still on Facebook.
Oh no, it was the blue we did from the sample set, wasn't it? Yeah, the gold was you.
Yeah,
yes.
because you then got a proper sample as well, and then you got, because the Gold Centenary was a fluke by me, because I looked at it and saw and thought that was awesome. Got the sample and bought the bottle. You bought the bottles. I've still got the picture on Facebook of that one sample arrived in that one box of Master of Malt, which was cool, very cool, very yawn. Sorry.
The 5 gram sample set with just one bottle of.
yeah, it just has the one in. Well, no, I think they did back then. They did the whole size box and only had the one. They put that protective sleeve over the top to make it like there was only one in there anyway, so it was safe at least. Anyway, Johnnie Walker Black and I, and David and I, we're very intimately known to each other, and hence why there's so much of it in our respective abodes. If you put it all together, yes, one of us would die from poisoning and failure, and it'll probably be me.
Yeah, here's the bottle we probably both have the most of, isn't it?
Johnny has to be there, yeah, it has to be. I don't think I have more of any one particular whiskey in my collection at all. I don't think there's anything that comes close. No, I think it is just...
I've got 2 Penderens and 2 American Oaks, but yeah, that's the closest I get.
It was 3.
2 have won the Singletons, but otherwise, yeah.
I've
3+ of 3 of the Johnnie Walkers.
If we're going to be that, I think the nearest I've got is Nika 12 with 3 standard bottles.
Yes.
And Singleton 21 with 2. I don't think of anything else come close.
Yeah, to be fair, your 3 Nika 12s is pretty good batting.
2.5 at this point.
Well,
anyway,
as far as insurance is concerned, it's still free if you.
Yeah, true. It's still the bottle. Why is the window capture stopped working? Okay, I do that. Is it not going to work anymore? So I'm window capturing on. That's Discord. What's that about? Never mind. I'm screen capturing the Johnnie Walker Black stuff, and OBS decided to no longer show it. So I'm gonna go and correct it. There we go. Right. Those who can see it on when I put it on YouTube, this makes sense. Because I'm screen recording the Master of Malt web pages. So we have the tasting notes. On the nose, winter spice and treacle, hints of white pepper, and a little citrus. Blow the spirits off.
I'd go with some of that.
I don't get any pepper. Citrus and
I don't necessarily smell pepper, but my nose had the reaction as if when you smell pepper and you kind of recoil.
I'm not too familiar with the pepper, white pepper smell, but or pepper in general, really. But I do get a little winter spice. I would say
there's a little citrus in there.
Winter spice would imply a sherry cask, and that makes me wonder. Would make me wonder which one, because Glenkinchie is not typically done in a sherry cask. Nor is Clynelish. I know nothing about Cameron Bridge. I know Cardew does do a sherry cask, but it's the 12-year-old. Hey, Plumpy.
Yeah.
Who's a good doggy? Yes, you're wiggling your tail now. You're happy. Sorry, my dog wants fussings. There you go.
Cameron Bridge Distillery. Let's have a look.
That's it. You do your research while I taste this.
XOP. Yeah, probably Cameron Bridge.
Okay. So I've done a little Dave sip. It says here rich and full with notes of wood smoke and dry spice, which I think is very accurate. Hints, well, the rich and full part maybe not. The wood smoke and dry spice. Hints of barley and cereal with creamy toffee and distinct herbal notes. So basically, herbal notes and a bowl full of Cheerios. What are you yawning for? Who's your pom-pom?
I will do a little Dave sip as well and see where we are.
There you go, good girl. So my dog is making noise and waggling and everything. She's panting.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's better.
My dog's panting. It's nice, isn't it?
Perhaps she wants the Black Label.
If I want to kill her, yeah. It says here, quite fruity and long, with a note of sultanas and mixed peels on the finish. I find the finish slightly builds, but not much. It's definitely quite a sweet finish. It's not too intense, though, which I find quite relaxing. Again, this is why it's such a good shot. You can just do shots of this and be quite happy with yourself.
It's quite mellow, isn't it? It's definitely longer than the red, the finish.
It's also not... Oh, my dog wants off, I think. Do you want off? Yeah, do you want off? No? Okay, I'll move back here. Okay. Sorry, I thought my dog wanted to climb down. I'll recalibrate. There you go. There you go.
Reposition to get the plumpy comfy.
I want her to be as comfy as humanly possible. In her twilight years, I want her to be as comfy as humanly possible. Or as puppily possible. You're panting.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? This works for pretty much everything.
It does.
You can sip it, you can drink it, and you can shoot it.
It's why it's one of the most popular in the world, I think. I know it can go well as a banging cocktail drink, I'm sure. I think Johnnie Walker Black Label looks better behind a bar than red. Red looks like you couldn't afford black, but they're roughly the same price these days. And I know in bars you want to get a litre instead of 70cl or something, but I'd rather have 70cl of black because I know the whole thing will be finished, as opposed to 1 litre of red where many people ignore its existence.
Yeah. There's more versatility to it if you're putting in a cocktail as well, I think. So there's more body to the actual whiskey.
Well, it's more versatile anyway.
Build off it better.
It's more versatile anyway because it can be drunk in a cocktail and outside of it. You cannot say the same for Johnnie Walker Red.
No.
Red is the one you ashamedly put in a carrier bag or a paper bag and say, "I'm drinking Johnnie Walker." You just switch the
I'm not
screw
going to show
top.
you which one.
Yeah. You just switch the screw top for a black one and you're fine. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so do you want to do 12 seconds?
I'm happy to do 12 seconds.
I mentioned that on purpose because obviously what we have next is a slight swerve. So while that's going, I'm going to show people on YouTube this bottle here. This is a £499 bottle of Johnnie Walker Black Label. It was made for Blade Runner. The bottle.
Oh, that one.
The director's cut bottle. I honestly would love that bottle, but I'm not paying £500 for a fancy-looking, fluffing bottle that is just not worth it. It is also a screw top. Why would I want to pay £500 for a screw top?
Could you imagine not knowing, buying that, and then be like, "Where's my cork?"
If I'm spending £500, I promise you, it's going to be something big and it's going to have a sodding cork on it. Two most expensive
It's a beast of a bottle, though, isn't it?
The two most expensive bottles I bought, one of them actually is only just more expensive than that in the one respect, and it was a cork. Okay, it comes in the most elaborate box you could ever get your hands on. Okay, it weighs a metric ton. It's worth it. Okay. The next one to that is also a cork, because no, if you're paying £500 for a bottle of something, you are not buying a screw top. Why? Because there's a chance the lid will give out. Okay? The only good thing on this bottle side, it has the royal seal at the top. That's the only thing that saves it, and it's still not worth £500. I promise you it's not. I would rather buy Johnnie Walker Blue Ice Chalet or Johnnie Walker any other blue, because I know they're cheaper. And it's like, well,
I was going to say, you get 2 blues for that.
you can get 2 blues and some, actually. You'd have enough to get a few more. Because
3 standard blues, actually, wouldn't you?
Close to, yeah, I think you would, actually. Let me go confirm it. Close to. You'd get close. But still, you could buy a fair chunk. And I thought I'd show people, while Dave does his 12 seconds of...
I am now going to do the 12 seconds.
Quote,
so it's going in.
Suffering. Get blacked. But yeah, I think the bottle's a bit of a con. Really? When David's drinking, okay. I think that with this, it looks the part. That's fine, but you're not paying for the content. So really, what's the point? Especially if you're ever going to use it, you're only refilling it with a bottle that costs £20.
That's good.
I think what might...
He's all warm and happy now.
Oh, you're warm and happy now. Oh, good. Wait, who's warm and happy? You're. Someone typed that.
No, me. No, that's really nice. It does build a little bit on the tongue. You get a little bit of the spice.
Yeah.
You do get some of the woodiness.
Yeah.
It says dry spice, but it's not really drying. And you do get a very smooth, like I say, it's a toffee, very smooth sort of end to the mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very nice. It works as a sipper.
You've been quoted on the server. They haven't done you dirty.
Thank you, Jonah. Well, Yempi's not here to clip it, so close enough.
It's a Discord VC. If she's clipping Discord VC, she get in trouble.
Where is the German anyway?
I don't know. Busy being a loser.
I'd like her not to come and annoy us.
I have no comment to make. They're German. Alright, anyway. Should we send this what's left and move on to the next one?
Ah, you mean approach it in the traditional manner?
Yes, absolutely. Mine's already gone, by the way.
That seems about right for you, yeah. Fair enough. Yellow.
Busy aggroing. I would say when you shoot it, it's a lot smokier.
Yeah. Yeah, you get more of the smoke on the shot. You get more of the, I guess, flavour profile.
Yes.
If you hold it and sip it.
Okay, so next on the list is another black. Now, there's actually 2. See, I don't have an open one of, but David doesn't have the other one, and I thought it'd be fun to mix it up a little. Pomp, what are you doing? Are you okay? You just want to get down? Give me a kiss. Ah. Oh, shall I go, Pompey? Sorry, we're a random dog break. I'm sorry. Okay, so what's next on the list is Johnnie Walker Double Black. Double Black is an interesting one because it was originally a retail market travel exclusive, and David did actually have a couple of bottles back in the day that had manual pourers built into them, and we both hated them, but now wish to an extent I still had mine because it was a birthday whiskey, and I wished I still had it. I hated the pourer, but at the same time I kind of wish I still had it because it was such a novelty back then.
Yeah, so my open bottle in my flat has the pourer. I have another bottle which I don't know about, and I'm about to open a bottle, the one that's my parents', and I don't know whether it's got the pourer or not, so that'll be an interesting...
You've had a few, you've got a few double blacks, haven't you?
Yeah, this might be the first time I've had a double black without the pourer.
Might be. I don't think my current one has a pourer. I think I've got two, one behind the bar and one that was sent off the wish list that's in the cabinet. Unless you got that, I don't know. Yeah, so Double Black was a cheap retail exclusive. I don't quite understand... so this one's slightly peatier and the casks were more heavily charred. That's all we know. I don't quite understand how it's called Double Black, but we also know there's a Triple Black. So we know that it does, it grows a bit. And hello, G-Dubs, hope you're well. My guess is in Germany. Oh, Yempi may well be in Germany, Bri. We can't be certain of these things. Why did I just get an alert, like a stream alert? Who did that, you bastard? Sorry if you heard a random ringing of bells. Apparently something happened. But while David's doing that one, I'm not. I'm going to be going with this. Johnnie Walker Black Label 12-year-old Lowlands Orange Origin. Now, I don't have a full bottle of this, but I do have all the samples they had on Master of Malt. I have all but one, but apparently that's gone as well, because David put it in his basket, and that meant I couldn't order all of them. So
I put it in my basket to buy it for you, then you told me you'd ordered all of them, and I was like, well, I don't need to buy that one now, because he just bought 5 for himself.
7. There were 8 actually, and I couldn't buy that last one, and the last one just vanished anyway, so I was like, alright, then I guess someone else wants it more than I did. But above my bar I have a fair few of these samples, and I asked them in DM Master of Malt how many they had, just so I could know how many I'm buying. So I have a Johnnie Walker 12-year-old Lowland Origin. Now I wanted this one so much, but getting hands...
So that was another... That was another Discord stream we did, wasn't it? Because that was
pre-recording ones, yeah, and it was you that bought all the samples.
The
you
night
surprised me with that.
Black, and more black.
It's when you rocked up with a sample set of all of them, and and I'm like, what? Like, yeah, it's for you, and I'm like, what? All the origins,
all the different variants of the Johnnie Walker Black.
All the origins and the triple cask, which is technically triple black, because who doesn't love a jolly good Eiffel Tower? A spit roast like no other. The only ones missing were the sherry cask and the ruby. There's a port cask Johnnie Walker Black now.
Wait, what?
Look up Johnnie Walker Black Ruby. Look it up. It's a thing. I was so excited when I saw that. I saw it last year and I really want it. I know. I want the Sherry Cask Select as well. That's a 12. I really want them because I'm like, I need them in my life. It's Johnnie Walker.
So apparently you can. So I've searched this, and the first link is Johnnie Walker. The second link is Johnnie Walker. The third link is mywhiskeydiaries.com. The fourth link is Lagavulin Distillery.
Hey.
So I'm guessing there's some Lagavulin in it.
It must be. So we're going to go double black here. I'm just going to point out here at the bottom, you might also like Johnnie Walker Squid Game. Johnnie Walker Squid Game is actually Johnnie Walker Black with the Squid Game sort of logos all over it. And I will admit, I would like the 007 one because the whole Ian Fleming thing. Is that him? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a National Express bus I used to take. It was called the 007 because of Ian Fleming.
There's no pourer.
Happy days. So David's Double Black has 11 Spirit Awards. The most recent apparently being in 2022 It was a silver at the Scotch Whisky Masters for no age statement blended, but it has won some golds and category winners. The most recent gold being in 2020, which was blended Scotch no age statement at International Spirits Challenge. So it's done well. It's much like red and black, hugely successful. Double black, I would say, is it's definitely more refined. I found sweeter. It's definitely a bit more like malty. It does have a lot more smoke to it, but it doesn't feel overpowering. Let's not say black is either, because clearly not. I do think double black with no age statement is a more refined version of black, yet it has no age statement, which is really strange, but also kind of makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same ABV, 40% as well, so it's no stronger despite the whatever double maturing, double barreling, whatever they do with it.
It also, so where this differs is Johnnie Walker Black costs about £31. This costs about £38. It's one of those toss-ups where if you're new to whiskey, you go with red, but if you want to step up, you may as well, like, if you need to try them both first. You can get samples of double black anyway. Hello, Plumpy. Oh, sorry, my dog wants a cuddle. Give me a moment. You carry on, David.
So I'm just looking through because your Lowlands one does say where the whiskies come from. The double black doesn't. So yours has got whiskey from Glenkinchie and Cameron Bridge.
Yeah, so that makes sense because the Origin series was meant to be exclusively whiskies from those regions. Hence the Island, the Isla, the Highland, the Speyside, and Lowlands being so different. And also, there were more whiskies in the Islas and the Highlands than there were in the Lowlands, because there aren't many distilleries in the Lowlands anyway. The Speyside, Highland, and Islas all have plenty going on, and Diageo own a lot of those. Hello. Do you want to go down on the floor on your beddy bye? Yeah. Good girl, eh? That better?
So interestingly, on the bottom of the Lowlands thing, it says, if you want to know more about what we thought when we tasted the Johnnie Walker Black Label Origin Series, check out our blog post.
Should I click
you
it?
Click that link, it just takes you back to the standard Johnnie Walker Black page.
I just did it.
Fail.
I just clicked it and went back there. Fair enough. A bottle of Johnnie Walker Black Label Old Lowlands, it's a litre, and it's near impossible to find. It's £54 on the Master Malt website. I want this and the Speyside. So I've got the Highland and the Isla 70cl. I don't have Lowland or Speyside, but I would love to have a complete set of those. I think if I do want to get any other sets of 1 litre, like this size, the full, I would get all 4 of those just to have them as a set to collect, to go with my Game of Thrones set and my Diageo set.
Yeah, you did enjoy doing that sample set.
We both
none
did.
of them were bad, were they?
Yeah, I think they're very contrasting, and that's so interesting. Like the Highland was more citrusy, the Isla was islery, the Speyside was fruity, and the Lowland was like supple and lovely. Each one has.
We both said the Lowland was our favourite, didn't we?
That was the best one. Speyside was second. I'd say Isla was third and Highland fourth, but that doesn't mean they were bad. It's like rating Diageo sometimes. They're not bad. Yeah. It's just when you compare to the others, they're just not as good. But I'm not against them.
Unless you're the Oban 11-year-old, in which case.
That's different Diageo set, it's fine. Anyway, do you want to have a little sip of your nose of your double black and tell me what you think?
I shall.
Because on the nose it says here, slightly smoky, almost medicinal on the nose, offers up hints of vanilla, a little tar, because smoking's cool, a touch of barbecue sauce, lube, and citrus and malt. For that joke to make sense.
Definitely slightly smoky.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the tar, if I'm honest, but I'm not going to complain that I can't pick up the tar.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, because it's not
barbecue sauce either. Medicinal, yes, it has got that slight iodininess to it. Nowhere near the extent of some of the proper Islas, but
menthol cigarettes. We're like, oh, I'm smoking some freaking Marlboro Lights and having it in a glass of whiskey. Bitch, nah. Mine on the nose says light on the nose, some floral and toffee notes.
Well, would you like some toffee?
I got that on my nose. It is very light. It's floral. It's sweet. It's very sweet. I like underneath it has the celebratory blend at the bottom. Now, David and I both own this bottle. Neither of us have opened it. It's a screw top, and it's based on the old Highland whiskey, which is the Johnnie Walker White. And David and I, years ago when we were first starting out, we found a picture of the OG Johnnie Walker White. It was like an old saloon-style picture of it, because it was so hard to find OG White. And you can still buy it, so part of me would love to buy a bottle of it just to open it. Because you can't get samples of it. I would love to get a sample of this, or just buy another one and just open it. And find out whether it's any good. Because it is the strongest one, at 51%.
I mean, it hasn't really gone up in value, has it?
It hasn't. It also hasn't run out, which would indicate to me either it's not popular or it's not limited release.
Not sure. I mean, I don't think it was that popular. I'm not sure it did sell very well. Although I don't know how much of it they made.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be a limited-ish release because it's obviously the celebratory one.
Clearly wasn't popular enough. And I should point out with that one, its reviews there's 2 and they're 5 stars.
Yeah.
I think one day we may well try that, but would have to find or acquire another bottle for it. Anyway, I'm going to have a little taste of my Lowlands Origin. Are you going to have a little sip of your double black?
I can have a little sip of my double black, yes.
Or Dave a sip at least. Cheers. God, yeah, that's good. It's such a sweet. It's definitely very sweet. There's a little wood there, a little pepper, but it's very rich in flavour. Mine, oddly enough, says creamy. It says what a treat on the palate. Creamy vanilla, toffee, butterscotch. Very smooth and sweet. Wood spiciness with pepper and a little chili. Rich and round. Whereas yours, Johnnie Walker Double
Black.
Black.
Good body and very creamy with a sublime malty core. Offers a surprising level of peat smoke, which works really well, can confirm. Creamy sweetness, hints of soft wood smoke, salty butter, custard, and cereal grains.
I like custard.
Well, it definitely has some a nice peat smoke. It is malty, but it is very smooth. So the creaminess is there, and a little bit of woodiness as well. So,
would you say that this, because it's called Double Black, is it a step up from black? Do you think?
I don't know about a step up. I think it's a step sideways, because it is different in terms of its profile. Like, I know the other one's got the wood smoke and some sort of barley and cereal and stuff, but this one's got that slight element of peat, which obviously changes the complexion of it.
So that's
it's still really smooth, but it's not quite as sweet as the black.
That's a really good point.
It's kind of gone a slightly different direction.
Yeah, so it's a really good point, because when I thought the same for my Lowland here, my first thought was, on their own, each one showcases why each region is so good and so different. But then you put them together, and some of those characteristics don't stay with Johnnie Walker Black, because some are more powerful than others. Does that mean that this then is a step up or not? And the answer is much like with Double Black, it really can't be considered a step up, because you have to merge the 4 regions in a manner to create black. Therefore, even if we're losing aspects of it, we're still getting really good quality. Therefore, it's a step to the side. Yeah, it becomes more of a tree. Yeah, the tree of Johnnie Walker Black.
The tree of black.
The tree of black. Yeah. And no, it's not the racist tree. It doesn't have a massive nose.
It's like
Don't try me.
that black family tree in Harry Potter on the wall.
Yeah, but we haven't put cigarette marks for anyone. And
no, other than Johnnie Walker Red, which
that's
was
not,
like the origin load. It's like, no, cut that out. Go to black.
That's the family member that failed the DNA test. It doesn't belong on there. Okay. It never belonged. In the case of this, like, if we had the triple cask to hand, which I also would love to get my hands on as well, I'm not joking. Johnnie
that
Walker,
was good, wasn't it, as well?
it was, and it's, I think, we made the jokes of once you go black, you never go back, because the stereotype is somewhat true, to an extent. In this, we made joke. We were in his car making more of those kinds of jokes because we realised like double black. Yeah, there's more jokes. And the triple cask, when we found out about that, is like, well, can you really have too much black in your life? And the answer is obviously never.
I don't want to worry you. I've just found the 1 litre triple cask Johnnie Walker Black for £36 on the British Airways High Life shop.
Oh yeah,
That's not bad. £36 for the litre of that.
I have a credit card.
It's like £52 everywhere else.
I would bosh, but I spent £10 on a bottle of Hague yesterday that I solely want to use as a bottle light.
I was going to say, yeah, but that's fine. £10 for a light, that's not bad.
It's really not bad for a light, is it?
Yeah, that's there.
Next time I empty my my bathroom, I might just use it to clean the toilet.
It'll work. I mean, probably stronger than the cleaner you use normally.
Fam, I use industrial bleach, but alright. Yeah, no, you might have a point. Anyway.
I was going to say, and your point is.
Yeah, sounds like time for a Dave Bosch. If Dave had money, the answer would be yes, but I'll open this for those who are interested. This is oh god, there's essentials and cookies. No, decline. Get off my screen. This is the triple cask, those on YouTube who are interested. It is... it's just lush, mate. It's oh, hang on. Combination of bourbon, then Caribbean pot still rum.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a rum cask. Fam. Oh, do they deliver?
Next credit card's coming out, I can feel it.
I can't order it in front of people. I have to put my sodding address in. I'll look at it later. No, we'll look at this.
Health, that's good news. It's vegan friendly.
Hey, that sounds like a win. Winner, tofu dinner.
Yeah. No chimkin dinner.
It's what's the fake chicken name? I'm trying to think.
Corn.
There you go.
Corn. That's it. Yeah.
Cornkin.
Cornkin dinner. Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Cornkin. That's depressing. Anyway, I'm having a little sip of this. I can do 12 on this, whatever. Plumpy, do you want to climb down? I'm going to put my dog down. Give me a moment. I'll do the 12 second. I won't do the 12 seconds, sorry. I'd be tempted to, but I won't this time. If I put the blanket on the floor here. There you go.
So turkey, yeah.
There
Yes.
you go. Yeah, on
The old fake turkey.
Oh, tofurkey. Faux turkey?
Or the faken for the fake bacon.
Oh, we can't be having that bullshit in our lives. Anyway, I'm not going to do 12 seconds because we've been going for over an hour and we've got 3 more left to do. Yeah. I'm having a little sip though.
I would say mine says good length on the finish.
Yeah.
With notes of malt, boiled sweets, black pepper, and cool smoke. Well, I'm not actually finding the finish very long. It's probably the shortest of all the ones we've had. Well, I say all the ones we've had, but all the other 2 we've had.
This one's quite short, and it does say so in the tasting notes. Mine just says vanilla, comma, quite short, full stop. It's very very brief.
It's to the point.
It is, and I'm not going to criticise that. I still think it's delightful. I'm always going to be a fan of Johnnie Walker Black. I'm sorry, anyone that says says that it's overrated or something, you are. I'm not at that state. Okay, I can't say I've got cheap taste. Okay, because more recent purchases would say otherwise. Sure, but I'm not so removed from reality that I can't appreciate something that I know I can trust.
Yeah.
Like Jameson, like Penderyn, which is not cheap anyway. But many of the whiskies I quite like or can go to, I can trust. My stream whiskies, English Penderyn, a Glenmorangie, they're not overly expensive, the standards anyway.
They're almost bar staples, aren't they? Bar staples.
Well, yeah, Glenmorangie is a pub staple, 100% it is. And I think it's important to be able to maintain that connection to reality. And Johnnie Walker Black is one of those. We we did do tiers and our top 10s, what we put in our standard bar and what we put in our more expensive bar. Obviously, Johnnie Walker would probably feature in the form of blue, but Johnnie Walker Black would feature in the cheaper one, just because it's a guarantee of good.
Yeah. Yeah, we've never had a bad experience with it, with Johnnie Walker Black.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm rolling my ankle in a field.
Okay, fair point.
I don't even know how I don't know how I managed to get out of the house. I thought I did it quietly, and then I got followed down a road. I don't know how I did that. I rolled my foot in a field. I have no idea how I got into it. And I woke up the next day and went, "Why is my ankle hurt?" Then I started remembering, and I was like, "Well, shit."
To be fair though, you had that happen after the Johnnie Walker Black. I used Johnnie Walker Black to medicate after the Laser Quest incident.
Wasn't that back at my place anyway?
Yeah.
we were.
Well, I got Laser Quest, carried on, drove home, went to Meg's, sat with some peas on my ankle, medicating with Johnnie Walker Black. Slept on the sofa.
If you're
the next day, went home and I was like, my leg is purple. I should go to hospital.
If you were staying at mine, you're always medicating. We are both medicating into the early hours. It's quite all right. At least you only had to go to that. I had to get up the stairs first. I try not to make too much noise, Then at least hadn't broken my ankle or foot. Okay, well I'm going to send this because we've got 3 more left and they're a little bit higher market. YOLO Swag Fan.
I'm gonna, I can send that. Yeah.
Delightful. Oh, much more toffee on the shot. Much more pronounced and still quite short. That's not a bad thing, by the way. It's why Johnnie Walker Black is so popular, because you can just do shots of this. You can do not red, but you can do shots of black as a whole. It's just shots, sips, drinks, and it really does just work.
So this one is not quite as smooth going down as the standard black.
Yeah.
But you do get some more of the sweetness come out on the shot. Yeah. So it is still quite. I'm trying to think of the right way of explaining it. Like the stout cask, Jameson stout cask, or the IPA, where it feels almost that little bit frothy, like a beer, like a stout would do. This has sort of a hint of that as it goes down. It's not fully smooth. It's that kind of creamy, frothy kind of smooth.
Yeah. I get you. It just doesn't work as well. That might be where it's more refined, to be fair. Before we continue, Johnnie Walker Red on Master of Malt has 12 Spirit Awards. Johnnie Walker Black, 12. Johnnie Walker Double Black, 11. Next on the list is Johnnie Walker Green Label. Now, Johnnie Walker Green Label is the step up. The price point is only another £8 on top of what Double Black is. But compared to Black, it's £15-ish. It's £15 actually. And there is a massive change from this, because whereas Red, Black, Double Black are screw tops, this is a cork. And it is not the same as the standard, the original green, that is. But I would say this is where the bottles start to get a bit nice, because I prefer the shape of this bottle. It's much more refined. I like the look. It feels great. It's got a decent age statement. It's slightly stronger if memory serves. I think Black is 40. Yeah, this is 43.
Yeah, this is 43.
It's a good whiskey. I genuinely believe it is. I don't remember. I think David's the first person to introduce me to it, because I don't ever remember having it myself. There's a running gag because I had, in an interim of time where he and I hadn't spoken because I was here and he was there, I had every year got him a bottle of the original green. It went into my loft, and I to this day do not know where they are. I didn't touch them. They just went into the loft because that's where I hid all my alcohol, which I'm surprised didn't detonate. Those summers, fam, were hot. In retrospect, I really shouldn't have left them up there, but lesson learned.
No, definitely not, because they should have come to their rightful owner,
Yes, well, at that point, I wasn't able to get to you because I was broke. With what little money I had, I managed to buy you 3 bottles, and I had virtually no money left. I was on job seekers and self-employed. And, yeah, this one is a winner of 7 Spirit Awards, which is not as many, I know. Its most recent win on Master of Malt is listed as 2022, where it won the Scotch Whisky Masters Blended Malt aged 13 to 18 years old, which is very impressive. It's actually mostly, if anything, golds. It's got 1 silver from 2017. I assume that can't be far from when it rebranded, because they discontinued it, didn't they, for a while?
Yes, they did. I would say that is probably around the time it did come back, because it was probably 2012 sort of time.
The discontinue was so dumb, because that's when they replaced it as a standard with Gold Reserve. As this, like a standard. I used to really enjoy. They both went so tight. I used to really enjoy. So I used when Studio 60 was like out at the time on the Sunset Strip,
I would sit and watch Studio 60 with a glass of Johnnie Walker Green and a packet of lime and gently infused Thai spice sensation crisps, and the crisps and the whiskey both got discontinued at basically the same time, which is also roughly when Studio 60 got discontinued.
I can promise you, when he gets angry about something like that, it's quite funny. I always preferred the chicken and thyme ones and the Thai sweet chili. Thai sweet chili were the first ones I ever had. I worked in a co-op at the time when they first came out, and I will admit they were lovely. Was it Thai sweet chili? No, the red sweet chili? Was that what it's called?
Yeah, Thai sweet chili.
Yeah, those are lovely. Yeah. Those are lovely.
So I'm trying to remember, because I don't have the box to hand. So original green, I think I can make out on a picture I found online. So original green, which is what I have, as well as the new one, has Talisker, Linkwood, Craggamore, and Kalila as its composite blends.
Okay. Do we know what the current green has? Because we know it's not the same. We tasted this.
It's the same, apparently.
But we know
same brand. Whether it's the same whiskey from them, I don't know, but it's the same distilleries that is used. Talisker, Linkwood, Craggamore, and Kalila, according to the Whisky Shop website, anyway.
I don't believe they're the same, based on flavour, because we've tried it with your old one. I don't think it's the same. But if it is, fine. But you got.
I reckon. I would think that what they've done for the modern one is they've taken probably some of the Talisker and Kalila out and altered the percentage of it, because it's not as heavy as the old one was.
Yeah.
Which would have probably come from one of those two, because of the smokiness and the sort of
both
depth
have got
of
that,
the whiskey.
Yeah, both have that. If we were doing a Talisker VC right now, it would just be a case of how much 10 can they both drink? The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Oh wait, we've run out of bottle. What's next?
It's okay, I've got plenty.
Gets up at 5 a.m. the next morning. How much sleep have you had? No.
yeah, it's just no. What's slap? I took a pill, it didn't work.
Are you hungover? I can't be hungover. I'm still drunk.
Yeah, the alcohol has cancelled out the sedative I take. Okay, so so anyway, this is a multi-winner, award-winning whiskey as well, much like the previous ones. Not as celebrated, but I think, again, it's because it was discontinued. When it was discontinued, I remember David and I talking about this, and we were both genuinely pissed off. Although I do prefer the newer version of the bottle, because the older version looks a lot more like the black label shape, but with a cork instead. As does my OG Gold, in fact. But I do prefer the sharper edges of what my Centenary Gold is, which is what the green label looks like. I think it is still a lovely whiskey, but this is definitely not a shooting whiskey. It's a sipping whiskey. This is a very refined whiskey. I'd say it is meant to be the swerve because it's more peated, and it works, quite frankly. It says on the nose, it's quite rich and full. Notes of mochaccino, espresso coffee, wood smoke and a fireplace, as well as a touch of bitter chocolate and oak. So no, I will not be buying this for my dad at any point because of wood smoke and fireplace. That he really, I don't like bonfire, son. But I just say that, Dad. Hi, hope you're listening and enjoying this.
Yes, hi Meg's dad. If
You're
you're
not going to complain. I gave him whiskey. I gave him a sample of Auchentoshan 3-wood, and I gave him the Glasso 12 that I was given by the whiskey shop. The medicine bottle. I was like, "I'll nice him before he leaves," you know.
Very good. Very good.
I've been sniffing the Johnnie Walker Green.
So it's Mike pour. Hopefully that picks up. You never know.
I've blown into the glass, and my nose has decided now would be a great time to malfunction and just block. So I can't smell anything now. But from what I could smell initially, it smelled great. It always does. Again, this is a weird thing because, as far as blended whiskies go, the only blended whiskies I really have a lot of is Johnnie Walker, because it's one of the very few blends I'm willing to enjoy, and I do enjoy, because it's a scientific experiment.
Beyond the Irish whiskies, which are virtually all blends.
But they fall into that area, don't they, with the triple distilled and stuff. They may as well be blended in some manner. You have a point there, actually. I think that in the case of Johnny, though, it's very much a case of it's an experiment. It felt like a scientific experiment. A lab coat went on, and someone just went, "Let's see if we can get this flavour profile right." And some of them even have age statements, which is quite nice. I'm going to have a sip of this, by the way. Cheers.
I'm sniffing. I'm a little bit behind.
So it says here, the palate is a medium body with notes of crisp cereals, coffee beans, chocolatata, a date note, a really good date, by the way. You get at least second base from this one, with a touch of the walnut, as opposed to.
You probably get third base if you gave me this on a date.
No, that's not a walnut; that's a face nut. I
could just imagine the owner cringing at that one.
That was a good one. I was proud of myself. Okay, I did well. I expect to be praised.
It was good. I can see her cringing.
I'm allowed to be witty, all right. I have moments still. My sarcasmometer is still in effect somewhere. Hasn't totally run out. The finish is this is quite long, with a spicy and honeyed sweetness and oak. Now this is definitely a more sustained finish, yes, but that is something you get more prominent from peated and smoky whiskies, because the finish wants to stick around, and if any other flavour can cling on to that, oh yeah, it's a good whiskey, because it then can come to the front and go, "Hi, I was here. Let me take a bow." You know, let me be present and accounted for, as it were, right? And I think that's good. By the way, if anyone has any questions on Discord or on YouTube when you see this there, if you do want to see this there, do ask about the Johnnies, because, we have been through 4 Johnnies so far. Yes, we have stamina. Depending on how you interpret that. We are enthusiastic. Do ask your questions. We are more than happy to answer. This is one of those weird ones where we do need to we should take our time, but we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. I don't want to go beyond 2 hours because I do need to go back to the house at some point. Yet the last 2 on the list usually would take longer, but we can't get away with it, sadly. We may have had too many tech issues at the start, you know.
I may be considering a bot.
Why?
I've just found a original bottle of Johnnie Walker Green 15 for £49.
Well, get it then, you bitch. That's not even considering a Bosch. Don't be such a fucking sausage. You buy it, or you're a sausage. Are you a sausage, David? The next word out of your mouth had better be Bosch. I'm going to slap you when I see you next. Right. Get it or you're a pussy. You tell him. You tell him. You tell him. You can unmute and tell him. Then you can mute again. Oh.
Get it or you're a pussy.
How do you say?
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I love that. As she did that, I just realised I could mute somebody, so I muted her halfway through a sentence and quickly went, "Oh shit, she can't talk. Unmute." I hadn't realised. Sorry. I thought I could unmute somebody. It turns out I can't. Anyway, yes. It's a lovely whiskey, and I think it's definitely one of those ones where you really should consider, if you have the extra, like £46 for a 15-year-old whiskey isn't bad. Like Glenlivet 15's around this price point, Morangi, Singleton, Pulteney, they're all there. Highland Park 15 as well, not my one, but others. There are plenty of 15s that are around this area. I've got a 15 that's over £300. It's not always going to be around the same price point. You can get some other decent whiskies around here, actually. There's some decent Irish whiskies around this point as well. There's some a 15 Tullamore, I think it's called Phoenix. It's about 50 something if you can find it. It's very hard to get your hands on these days, and I think that variety is very important. I think if you want to have something to just casually sip and drink, this is it. It's not a shooting whiskey, but we'll prove that in a bit. Don't worry. Well, soon, once he's boshed. And I think that this is another one of those ones where you can show it off a bit, because you're moving up in the Johnnie Walker world, and I think you do have to build up towards it, because you can't just it's not like red where you sort of have it and you're like, no, I don't want to touch that again. Black where you're like, I will try everything, whatever it is, I will drink it. Yes. No, the green is a bit more refined and very typical of a 15-year-old whiskey, in the sense that unlike the standard 12, it's a swerve. Because the 12 isn't peated or smoked that much. This is definitely that. But the 12 has become these experimental range anyway, like Glenmorangies 12s. In the case of Johnnie Walker, it's like, let's just do a sherry cask and a port cask. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do a sherry cask, a port cask, let's do ones from different regions. Let's do everything with the black and see how much black we can get out of the black. I see you're not a pussy then. Good.
It's
right.
all about out of the black.
Honestly, if I
Well,
could.
I've nearly finished my bottle. I've only got a little sample left. So I saw that. I was like, I need more of this. That one's not going to open though. That's a posterity green.
Anyway, well, that's unfortunate. You're running out, of course, and that does sound like you need to buy more, I guess. So well done. You haven't done anything inherently wrong. You just have to send the rest, so you don't. You don't get told off by your parents, which is a very strange thing to hear about a guy in his mid to late 30s getting told off by his parents having more whiskey.
Yeah.
I love it.
My dad has said I can steal some of the 12 for the next stream. So
I love that. The Bunna. Yeah. Was that the one I got him?
Yeah.
Or was that one you got him? No, you did, because I got him the rum cask, didn't I?
yeah, you got in the Glen Scotia, I got in the Brunner. Yeah.
Because I told you to get the Bunna. I think. There was something else. Oh yeah, so the big difference here is if Dave buys more whiskies, his dad tells him off. I buy more whiskies, my dad's like, so drinks at yours, yeah?
Your dad's like, can I have that with lemonade?
I have said only once have I outright said you are never to have it with lemonade, and he has fully agreed, solely because of how much I spent on it. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
At least he wouldn't out me to a shop of 16 people. Could have been robbed. That'd have been funny. How many guys did Meg chin on the way home? Well, they started it, you know. Okay, so we have 2 samples left, and annoyingly, we do need to do 15 seconds on this before we move on. I'm not going to do it because you're more of a green fan than I am.
That's fine, I will happily do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed on here it's one of the best bargains in Scotch whisky. There, a favourite among bartenders. Now, I don't know about you, but if I go to a pub or a bar, I do tend to look at the whisky selection. I don't know the last time I saw a bottle of Johnnie Walker Green behind a bar.
This might not be a UK bar thing, because bar would indicate like a club or something, like the one that came to the whisky shop when we were in there last. Remember that?
Yeah.
Or when I went in the Friday, the guy came in with the bag. I could believe that they have green instead, but I've never been there. I've never seen Johnnie Walker Green behind a pub ever. I don't see Johnnie Walker Black behind them either, to be fair. I haven't been to many pubs though. But it's not generally something I notice. I would look for that. We do make it a point when we go on boat trips. We go to pubs, And every single time, David and I have gone and looked at the whiskey selections. The only time I've ever been genuinely like, oh, they've got some reasonable whiskey, was at a place in an area called Wroxham, where they had both a Talisker and Highland Park. And I think you and I, the first time we went, we both had one of each, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
that was fun driving about upwards, yeah. The place we went, the boat group went the other night, I can't remember what it was called. That was a nice bar. That had a decent whiskey selection. As I sent you, I've seen a few info of what it was, but they had blue and gold reserve. They had blue and gold reserve behind the bar.
No complaints. It's still something, isn't it?
Yeah, as well as like decent hibickies and all sorts of things. So
15 seconds, David.
Yeah, just loading me. No, hang on. What are you doing on the phone? I don't want random photos of horses. Right, okay.
Marvellous.
Going in now.
Right, well, while he does that, we're going to briefly have a conversation, because obviously we want to make sure those 15 seconds pass as easily as possible. He will undoubtedly have a lot of information for us at the end, and we can blah 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 move on to blue.
Ooh. Ooh. You should do that, because that is good.
I would, but I feel like I've got to be a bit more pragmatic here. I have to render nearly 2 hours worth of video at the end of this.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
That is nice. It's very smooth. You do get a little bit of that chocolatiness if you like, as if you're biting something. You do get that little bit of chocolatiness. It's really nice. There is a warmth to it as well, though. It does warm as you hold it. It's interesting. The whiskey shop says about ginger, which Master Malt doesn't. I can see that, because there's a little bit at the back that's just that tingly heat.
We do like a bit of ginger, and it, as we know, is a cure for the common cold when mixed with whiskey. And you can forgo the ginger entirely and just have the whiskey.
You certainly could with this, yeah.
Yeah. That was one thing I was looking at when I was deciding on treats last year and this year. I was looking at whiskies that had flavour profiles that I would like. And then I was looking at availability as well. So some got discounted and then got reintroduced to be discounted and then got discounted anyway because I found something different. You know? It was... Well, it wasn't like this year. This year was just like, I see it, I want it. Last year was a bit more thoughtful. Well said.
Apologies.
For those who don't know, that was David's attempt at a sneeze. It wasn't very convincing.
That was me attempting to muffle a sneeze and muffle the mic at the same time.
How'd that work out for you?
Not well.
It sounded like a firmware update. Okay, so I'm going to shoot.
Discord update, yeah.
I'll do the obligatory shot first because I have enough for a decent shot. To be fair, before we move on to the
I have a small amount.
Oh, YOLO swag fam.
Small shot.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Okay. It does shoot.
It shoots, it scores, it's delightful. It's very, very well rounded as a shot. I would say don't do it as a shot, really. But it's nice to know that, much like black, it's versatile enough to be a shot.
Yeah, I think black is still the best shot, but this one does work.
This isn't, because of the price point, it's definitely not one I'd feel bad shooting. Yeah?
No, because it's not too bad. I mean, it's sub £50. It's not too bad a cost, is it?
If I had 2 bottles of this, I would make it a thing to spank one of them. And the easiest way would be YOLO swag fam meg shots, you know? But it would be a case... Yeah, if you have 3 people, that could be done. Easily. Although I don't think my dad would drink this one.
No.
But he has drunk the next one, so I know that for a fact. I know he's had it because we'll get to it in a minute. But I don't know if he'd ever had this one before. Have you agwa'd yours?
I'm currently mid-agua.
Okay, well I've agwa'd. We're moving on to the penultimate blended Scotch of the evening, which is Johnnie Walker Blue Label. Johnnie Walker Blue Label is a massive increase. Like, it's a big step up. Green Label costs £46.75. This is £173. Now I like blue. I think it looks beautiful. This is the one. If you pull that out as a bottle, everyone knows what it is. I know maybe 1 or 2 people who don't like it, but it's because they don't have taste buds. Hi, Leona. It's a very nice whiskey. It really is. The bottle's massive. It genuinely is. It's considered one of the greatest, not just because of the name, but because of how easy it is to pour and how easy it is to drink. It's insanely easy to drink.
Yeah.
And we know at least one fictional character who's an alcoholic on it.
Yes, Leo.
McGarry, yes.
Yeah.
Gerald?
Gerald?
I thought you were the butler.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where if you are talking to people that know whiskey of any level of knowledge, if you say Johnnie Walker Blue, everyone knows what Johnnie Walker Blue is. It's got that kind of it's got that level of brand recognition and appreciation of its quality.
It's also never changed. Once it found out what it was and became, it never changed. Although it has, in one respect, we'll get to it in a minute. I will not deny, if I can get my hands on a bottle of this, I'd be very happy, and I would open the bottle as well, because it is. I've had a sample of what we're going up to next before, and it's delightful, really is. But this is Johnnie Walker Blue. It is the coup de grace. It is the magnum opus of the I've changed scene. Of the magnum opus of the whole thing. Really, it. Really, we're doing that, are we? My window capture switched to Discord again, apparently. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is their ultimate peak piece de resistance of their blending.
It's the magnum opus.
Using all of their available casks, all of their available expertise.
Age statements all over the place, which is why this doesn't have an age statement. It has 14 Spirit Awards. This is the most rewarded. Its most recent, according to this, is 2020. A master blended no age statement from the Scotch Whisky Masters. 2022, sorry. Here we have Scotch Whisky Masters Gold Blend No Age Statement 2022. Its story began in 1987, so a year after I was born, a year before David was born. When the Distillers Company launched Johnnie Walker Oldest, it quickly became known as Blue Label for obvious reasons, and was a blend of rare malt and grain whiskies, no hague hopefully, bottled without an age statement, that's a hague, grain, with stylishly retro packaging. I don't think it's retro, it's just delightful. It's massive and heavy. In 1997, it was selling 50,000 cases globally. 50,000 cases has multiple bottles in, does it not?
Yeah, that's a lot.
As a known currency throughout the world, it's perhaps the ultimate gift whiskey. I'll be honest, this is the ultimate show-off. I have my January treat this year is a Bunnahabhain 30. That is the coup de grace show-off bottle. It really is. But if I pull that out and pull Johnnie Walker Blue out, the majority of people are going to look at Johnnie Walker Blue and go, that one's more expensive, right? Because people know what Johnnie Walker is. It's not even a third of the cost, but still, it's definitely the show-off. Well, maybe slightly over a quarter, actually. Yeah. But still, it's a show-off bottle.
It's built up that reputation over time, hasn't it, for quality, because it's the fact that you have no idea what's in it, but it's got such a range of things in it, and it is always basically said there's some very old whiskey that's used in Johnnie Walker Blue.
So that's where this really does have the advantage that no one else has, because it has ghost distilleries.
Yeah.
That Johnnie Walker are the only ones to have access to them. That is such a ghost distillery. Honestly, that could be anything. Yeah. It really could. And that's
we could be talking things like, I know Port Ellen have reopened, but obviously Port Ellen and those sort of Brora and things like that were really popular but hard to get, but incredible quality distilleries 20 years ago that closed.
Yeah.
And they're owned by Diageo, so Johnnie Walker have access to these for their whiskey, but no one else can get that level of whiskey. And some of these are 3 years old. They're basic things, basic grain whiskies. Some of them are 40, 50-year old that they put in it.
So David
to make a flavour profile.
David and I both own a Johnnie Walker Blue. I own the Blue Label Icon version, which I'll show you. Johnnie Walker Blue Icon. Whereas So mine looks like this, but it's the same flavours, same tasting notes. It's no different. It's just the bottle, and this is more expensive. Mine did not cost £230. I promise you, it didn't. I paid. I think I paid 160 for it. If memory serves, I paid 160 for this. It's just the design. I intend to refill it whenever it's empty.
Whereas I've just linked mine in the chat. Mine looks like one in the chat.
Yeah, David.
Isn't
yours also a litre?
Yeah, mine is a litre because mine was acquired at a very good price by my parents while they were on a cruise.
Yes,
they paid $90 for a litre of Johnnie Walker Blue.
They paid about 70 quid for it. Well, based on the time they got it from as well, it's even better.
I paid about 15 quid for some samples from Master Malt to get the box.
That's true, actually. Yeah, the boys at the chaps at Master Malt.
I was like, I have this bowl, but I don't have a box. Is there any chance you have to have a box lying around? They're like, yeah, we might do. I was like, how would one go about getting that? We're like, well, if you place an order for something and put a note in the comments to say you've spoken to us and asked for it, we'll send it with the order. So I was like, okay, order sample set.
This has like one of those cowbell, those ties the Americans wear that's just rope.
Yes.
Yeah, that tie on it. It's heavy, it's weighted, the glass is insanely thick, which enhances the visual of the nectar inside. I love underneath in Master Malt it says you might also like Glenmorangie Signet, which David also owns. Much like the blue though, he hasn't opened it. I think it is, as far as blends go, it says here on Master Malt, one of the ultimate premium blends. I would argue Johnnie Walker Blue is the greatest premium blend. I know there are some Japanese whiskies that might try and contend with that, but even their best ones, like my Nika 12, do not come anywhere near close to this.
No, they don't have the heritage, do they?
They don't have the
Hibiki.
but they don't have
the old Hibikis are blends, and they are amazing.
They don't have
the heritage and that clout that a Johnnie Walker has because of the age of the distillery.
I think there's that as well, but I think the depth of flavour is the other one. I don't think any of them come close. Johnnie Walker Blue is the coup de grace. It is the absolute pinnacle of a blended whiskey, or a Scotch, basically. And that doesn't mean, by the way, it's any different. It's worse than a single malt, because Johnnie Walker Blue destroys most single malts. It just does. I'm sorry. With my January treats, on that same shelf is a bottle of Johnnie Walker Blue, and most of them would be in a fair fist fight with this. It's an absolute fair fist fight. It really is. I think I might have one that beats it, but it's still close. But 30 years really does add a lot of character to it. I'm just saying.
I would say, personally, I think your English is more well-rounded.
That's a
flavour profile.
Well, it's a very definitive sherry cask, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and your 33 and but I think that, you're looking at that level of whiskey. You're looking at 400 quid plus a bottle, basically.
And this fits,
aren't you?
This fits in with it, though, doesn't it? Though that's what tells you.
Yeah.
Like for £173, which I think a year or so ago it was, or 2 years ago it was £155. I think it was. It's gone up a little because of taxes mostly. Inflation and cost of living have killed it, but it's not huge in price. I would not, if I ever got given a bottle of Johnnie Walker Blue, I would never be upset. Not because of the price point, because I know how much someone spent, but because I know I'm going to drink it. I still think Centenary Gold is better because it's smoother, but this is still delightful. It really is.
Yeah, so this is where we split a little bit, isn't it? Because you prefer the Centenary, and as much as I love the Centenary, I do prefer the blue.
I think the blue is better, but I just prefer the gold because I think it's just so smooth. A bolo tie, that's it. Yeah. One of those bolo ties. Thank you, Leona. No, I think it's just the Centenary was so smooth, and also when I bought it, it carries that sentimental weight for me.
Yeah.
Because I got a job, and the first thing I did to celebrate that was buy that bottle. I have no regrets.
Yeah. Other than 2 days later, but we won't go to that.
It doesn't exist. Shut up. Anyway, should we have a little look at this because we're dawdling?
I feel like we should. Yes.
Yeah. Cheers. I was going to yellow swag from early. Fucking. can tell why that's top. So on the tasting notes, which I've clicked on Discord there extensively, it says here fragrant. So that's the palate, that's the nose. Palate supple. I didn't do the nose. Fragrant with a good body on the nose. Notes of oak, crisp spice, dried fruit, pastries. I had pastries earlier. I might have meatballs and marinara sauce in. Berry fruits. No, it was a pastry with meatballs in. It was. I got one for free the other day from the bakery. I went in this morning and bought 2 of them for breakfast. Hints of cedar and a touch of... It was lovely. And some scones with cream and jam for dessert. The palate, supple and balanced, good toffee and hints of very wistful smoke. Chocolate, hints of grass and a good hit of malt. It's quite a malty beverage, to be honest. But the more prominent flavours are definitely smoky. It's quite sweet. It's definitely balanced. And on the nose, the oak is, to me, quite well... It's... Sorry, whiskey burp. It's definitely there and pronounced. I love that, by the way, underneath this, I recommended Johnnie Walker 18 in a box that looks really nice. But if I'm going to ever give anyone advice, the following advice would be true to all of you. Do not buy it! You're welcome. This looks the part, the box looks cool, but you will never...
I read the technical terms of these. Some of these things are not like the others.
Yeah, this is not a Johnnie Walker. This is an absolute blasphemy. It's
See, and on mine underneath, I've got things like Johnnie Walker Blue, Legendary 8, the gift pack.
I had those as well. I also had this
Royal Salute 21.
This I'll link it in the chat for anyone's interested.
That mind you, Signet.
I'll put it in the chat for anyone interested. This is basically Johnnie Walker Platinum. Johnnie Walker Platinum is the only Johnny I could never get down. Giggity.
Yes, we have struggled to down.
I could shoot it, but it is one that where you know I struggle is where I can't poker face dead it. So I can completely dead most shots and just do them. This is one of the few I can't. It's up there with Talisker 8, 2021 Diageo special release, the King of Smoke. But at least the King of Smoke was delicious. This is certainly
the reason
not.
That one you can't down is because there's so much smoke. It just goes bang.
Yeah, it's Sillet Smoke. This one, the weird thing is the 18th won 7 Spirits Awards. Not one of them was deserved. It's so bad.
Do you think that's because that's a hangover from when it was Centenary?
Honestly, the Centenary was amazing. I wonder if that's even on here. I'm going to go and look. Johnnie Walker Gold Label. With Gold Label Reserve. Gold Label the 80. Ah! I found it. This is a Centenary. It's got no awards. But that is the king of in my mind, Johnnie Walker's. The box was made by a company in Dover, a fancy something box company. And I almost had a job with them once. They make these boxes. The insert in them is amazing. I wrote Jogney, not Johnny. I'll scroll down slightly. No,
it's obviously sold out, and some
Platinum.
lucky bastard got this for £80. That is the OG Centenary in the Discord chat.
There's a bottle of the Platinum in the box David has, which is a push button plastic top.
The box is really fancy.
Like the Platinum
Shame
box.
about the whiskey.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Anyway, Blue Label, yes. Back here, I'm doing screen share obviously for YouTube side of things. It's not great. No, not Blue. The others. The Platinum. Sorry, I got that stuck in my head still.
Sorry, I've just seen Johnnie Walker Platinum. A litre somewhere is selling it for £260.
I'm going to tell you now, to anyone who buys Johnnie Walker Platinum, the bottle is not square, so it's already wrong. The box is amazing. It's literally it's a beautiful box. It's plastic. It has a button on the top. The whole lid comes off. Yes. The whiskey, though, is worse than Johnnie Walker Red. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Back to Blue, though, which is superior to all but one. I think this is fantastic. There's no age statements. We can't do that. But we do need to finish this one quickly now and move on to the last one. I do apologise, but we're going to have the YOLO Swag Fam. For those who don't know, a YOLO Swag Fam is obligatory not worth a cork lingo, mostly Megs, for just do a shot. Sorry, David, but YOLO Swag Fam.
I mean, there's another blue coming, so I suppose I can Swag Fam one blue. YOLO!
Very smoky, very smooth. It's a good drink. So this is one of those weird things where this is also, like black, a very good sipper, a very good drinker, and a very good shotter. But this is the first one where you know it's not the right one to do it to.
I don't like it. I like it, but I don't like it. Like,
because
it shouldn't shoot like that for that much money.
Agreed. But we've discussed this before. Some whiskies just are that versatile, and Johnnie Walker Black, much like Johnnie Walker Blue, they're the same. It's just something about them in quality just shows some shouldn't be, because we know they shouldn't be. Like, imagine us getting a bottle of blue and being like, now we're going to spank this, and we finish it and we're like, okay, so who's buying the next one? Like,
yeah. There would be regrets, wouldn't there? You'd enjoy it at the time, then when it was done, you'd look at it and go, what did we do?
I wouldn't be angry if someone turned up with the equivalent value of Johnnie Walker Blacks. 9 bottles. Based on price now, it's more closer to 6, isn't it? Or 5 or 6, isn't it now?
5,
but still,
probably.
If someone turned up with 5-6 bottles of Johnnie Walker Black, I'm not going to be angry. I'm just not going to be overly impressed that your way of getting around it is to prolong the drinking experience on Johnnie Walker Black,
Yeah.
At least make them different bottles, like all the different limited edition ones they've done.
Yeah. Black, Lowland, Island, Space Nose.
Yeah, the Indian one I've got, the Icon one, the Squid Game one, the Sherry cask, the Port cask, I'm not going to object to that. But, if you're going to do me dirty, at least, do me dirty with some variety. Anyway, so last on the list is what I do actually want. It's Johnnie Walker Blue Label Ice Chalet. Now, David's undoubtedly going to be agwaring. This price point change, though.
Dave has agwared.
This is going to be a big change in price point. I've linked it in the barracks on Discord for those who want to see it. Johnnie Walker Blue is £173 on Master and Malt. This is £325. I won't deny, and it comes in a bomber jacket box, a zip-up bomber jacket box. The flavour is nothing like standard Johnnie Walker. There's no awards for this. It's limited edition, and it's really nice. It's
only been out 3-4 months.
It's really hard to get hold of. The frosted blue bottle, I love it. I've had a sample of this, so I had to buy a second set of the Diageo Digital Dram tasting set from the whiskey shop for nothing, because I had points still.
Yeah. Solely
to get this sample. No other reason, just to get this sample. Because I've got blue, I've got green, I've got black. That's what you get in the sample box. In the sample box, it's black, green, blue, and then blue ice chalet. I only wanted this sample, so I spent 1,000. Sorry about that. I spent 1,000 points just getting another ice chalet sample. Yes, and I thought it was good enough and worthy enough.
I'm going to give you one word which tells you why that's worth it.
Go on.
Brora.
That works. I'll allow it.
Brora and Dalwhinnie. Very interesting combination.
Brora is a very unique one because I've seen Brora mentioned a few places. So, this was teamed up with a luxury ski wear brand called Perfect Moment to create this limited edition blended Scotch whisky. The master blender Emma Walker, a woman, using Met Office data. Whiskies that were distilled in the depths of some of Scotland's coldest winters were uncovered. As David mentioned, Dalwhinnie, Clynelish, Brora. The bottle comes housed snugly inside a rather splendid deep blue reversible bottle bag. Reversible, you say?
Okay, that's news. Didn't know that.
I kind of want to turn it inside out now. I'm definitely going to get this then. From
What's
Perfect
the
Moment.
image? I don't see the image of it inside out.
Once the whiskey is taken out, doubles as a stylish crossbody bag that'll be ideal in the blue... wait, crossbody bag, you say? Wait, does it mean I can wear it?
I think it does.
Sweet! Bitch, I could actually walk through London with the crossbody bag on.
Don't turn it inside out.
Why, what's wrong with it?
Oh, let's see if I can post the link in the...
Is it like someone... Is it like someone... Oh! Oh, that's amazing!
Don't turn it inside out.
I'm going to open the link. I put it in the video. That's I love that. That looks I would say it's nightmare
It
fuel.
looks so much better the right way around.
It does look better the right way around, but that's slightly nightmare fuel-y. I would use that bag as well. It looks like it looks like someone took a can of Rockstar and decided, fuck y'all, we're gonna piss off the Johnny fans.
Those stars are on the back of the bottle as well. That's the problem.
If someone pulled up with a Johnny looking like that, every single woman goes dry.
Like the side of the bottle. The front and the back of the bottle look decent, but then the side of the bottle has those stars on it and that funny pattern.
Is it fluorescent though? That's what you wonder. It looks like it could be fluorescent. I'm sorry, do I need a black light just to be certain? No, I like that. I don't care. I would happily carry that. I don't care. I'm not young enough for the
According to the
fluorescent.
Johnnie Walker website, the Ice Chalet is frequently bought with Johnnie Walker Blue Label Elusive Umami and Johnnie Walker Double Black.
I like underneath. I got. You might also like Glengarry, 33-year-old. It's not Garriock, it's Gary. I listened to a pronunciation the other day. I like the bottle. I like the flavour. The tasting notes for this are not very good. It says rolling raves, yeah, of rich spice lead to a steep surge of vanilla sweetness and honey, while caramel and hazelnuts course through dark chocolate undertones. This luxuriously long smoky finish leaves a lasting impression. Which, by the way, underneath you've got other different Johnnie Walker. I got Blue Label Legendary 8 and Glenmorangie Tale of Ice Cream as recommended.
Yeah,
I've got
Legendary 8, Year of the Snake, Gift Pack, Ice Cream, and Year of the Rabbit. And, a couple of things. Highland Park 54.
Slancher. Apparently that's how you pronounce that, according to the Irish guys.
£22,000.
Well, I don't quite have that much yet, but give me a couple of years and I might. I think I'd rather
saving.
If I intend to save, I'm going to save for a sodding mortgage and not that though.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so good though.
That is different.
It's really nice though, isn't it?
Yeah, that is lighter.
It's lighter. It's not necessarily sweeter, but the smoky peatedness is not there.
Okay, so having had a couple of Dalwhinnies, I can kind of see the Dalwhinnie in that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I kind of want to try, because I've had this before, I want to do something slightly haram. Sorry, I'll say it properly. I'm going to put a drop of water in mine, because I've got a little bit left in my jug, and I thought, well, I've tried this before and I liked it. I want to know if anything changes, because this sits at 43%, so there's no harm me just carefully. There we go. Right, I just want to... Yeah, it was a very small dribble from the jug, from the glass jug I have. Give it a little swirl and obviously throw it on the carpet.
See, being my parents, I don't have that bit of a water jug. I've had to use literally a measuring jug from the kitchen.
So I would say the sweetness, if you add water, is a bit more muted. So don't. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's still really nice. It's genuinely quite smooth. It does, to me, feel like it moves slowly towards the area of where a gold centenary resides, that smoothness. It's really nice. I thoroughly enjoy it, and that bag is blasphemy but hilarious. And I want it.
See, it looks quite fancy on the other side. Obviously got the striding man, it's got the perfect moment label on it and stuff. It looks really good. Then you turn it inside out and it's just
Honestly, I'd use it.
It's like a raised bum bag.
I'd use it as I'd use it as an overnight bag with a pair of socks and boxes in. I'm just and a toothbrush. No, that's my overnight bag. Okay, a couple
Your
pills.
next visit here, if you come out with that.
Honestly, well, no. When I'm next up at yours, I'll be buying that.
You just go home and your sister will be like, "Where's your bag?"
Here's my bag.
I have this. And they're like, "That's not a bag."
It is. It's a man bag. I'm down and young with the hip folks. I'm Steve Buscemi with a skateboard. Oh, it's a lovely whiskey. It looks like an intestine. If you've seen the intestine that's blue, chances are they also happen to have an ostomy bag.
I was going to say that you probably have some problems if your intestine is blue with stars on it.
But I'm not here to judge what people do in their intestines. As long as they're happy, that's all that matters, right? Oh, and for this on YouTube, somebody in Discord has said it looks like an intestine called G-Dubs, because G-Dubs has intrusive thoughts, apparently. And the owner is dry.
It is definitely different to the other blue.
I like it. I think it's another one of those. This is where I kind of want to try the elusive umami, because I wonder if it's also different, you know? The flavour profiles on a lot of these are very different, and I think that's really interesting. I think it's very important to be able to explore these kind of differing qualities, right? And my curiosity is definitely piqued. So I might ask you to reach out to the manager of that whiskey shop and be like, "Yo, can you get this in for whenever in April I'm at yours?" I can't remember the date, and I'll have to sort that out at some point.
I don't think we've worked out the date yet, have we?
Yeah, we were supposed to, and we haven't. But if we work it out, then I can just go in there and get this, because I think it'd be a good thing to have, to be honest. I wanted it in January, so I'll have it now. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm sure I can sort out them getting it in for you.
Please. Thank you. Last thing I want to do is cry about it and have to buy Bunnahabhain 25, because it'd be very upsetting for me. Very, very upsetting. I'm just saying. No age statement on this as well, which is another. With blue, it makes sense.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Because they mix so many variations, so many ages, they can't put one on it.
So the elusive.
Otherwise, it would probably be like a 5-year-old whiskey or something.
Yeah. The elusive umami one. The tasting notes. I'm going to pull it up on YouTube as well, so people can see it. The tasting notes are completely different. This one costs about nearly £290. The tasting notes on this are blood orange, red berries, pineapples. Like, it's so different.
Yeah. Is it a rubber cask?
It says here, umami is a Japanese word used to identify the fifth taste, which is a savoury flavour, mysterious one. It says only 1 in 25,000 casks makes the cut to become elusive umami. So it's basically based on an unknown flavour.
Rarer than Johnnie Walker Blue, which is 1 in 10,000.
I wouldn't say no to this either, to be honest, but I would rather have the Ice Chalet solely because of the bomber jacket. Like, honestly.
But see, this is the thing, though. Umami, they keep talking about it, because like the Mortlach special release last year talked about umami.
Was that Mizunara?
Like, yeah. No one can actually say what it is. It's like, it's
they
got
have.
this umami. It's like, yeah, but what is it? What am I looking for?
It says here, known as a somewhat mysterious savoury flavour. I'm like, okay, so I guess Walkers don't have it in a crisp yet, then. I'm sorry.
Put that in the next poll. Walker's umami.
When I go to the chippy next, do you want salt and vinegar? No, I want salt, vinegar, and umami. And I also want Iranu Uvavu. Okay.
And inagi.
Yes, I'd like those some spring salmon rolls as well. You know, I'm all about that inclusivity, folks. We'll conflate shooting stars and friends. You're welcome. I am going to, because we've got like a minute and a half left before I really should consider ending this. I'm going to do the one thing I probably shouldn't do and shoot what I've got left.
I mean, I have like more than Dave said, but I will join you, because why not?
YOLO swag fam.
YOLO swag fam.
That is an expensive shot.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's okay, if I buy a bottle of this, you can do a shot of it, it's fine. Although I will admit, I put Elusive Umami on the screen. It does look, it looks the shit. I love the look of all of them. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I like the fact they got differing Johnnie Walker Blues, because if you have a bottle of Johnnie Walker Blue and you pull that out and they're like, wait, this isn't Johnnie Walker Blue, and you're like, I mean, it technically is. It's just, it's to be honest, this is actually a great thing for Johnnie Walker Blue, because the standard is the best blended whiskey and better than many single malts. Adding different Johnnie Walker Blues that taste different, I think, is a fantastic idea, because you've got all the different Chinese New Year's that look great.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, my Icon bottle as well. You know,
Yeah,
they all look
snake
great.
and the rabbit ones are
Yeah,
quite nice.
but they taste all the same. They're still the same flavour, which I think the art is where the money is for that. You know.
Yeah.
I'd like to, obviously, for those who don't know, David is year of the dragon, isn't it?
Yes, on Dragon.
I was born in '86, which many say is year of the tiger, but no, Chinese New Year is January 21st, so I was year of the ox for 1985, technically. Which makes some sense, but I can't.
That makes sense.
It does make some sense. I'm a bit hard-headed. That's about it. I'm not strong, but I'd love to get that bottle. I won't deny. I won't bother yet until the next ox bottle comes around, because they've already done it, and I don't want to pay several £100s for that bottle. You know. What did you think of that as a shot, by the way? The Ice Chalet.
Worryingly good.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? I will admit, I had not seen the, up until you showed me, the over-shoulder. I yawn. That's the right time to do it. Yeah. The over-shoulder bag interior, because that I had not seen that. That is absolutely marvellous.
I had to Google that. I was like, wait,
I wish I had. Until I saw the words, I didn't know. So I'm very happy about that. I may have to nudge you to ask the manager of the shop to try and get it in for whenever we agree on coming up. We'll work that out at some point soon, I'm sure. I thought it was a good shot. Again, that's a very expensive shot. So you do feel that it does, again, feel quite bad to do. But it kind of works, you know. It's Johnnie Walker Blue, you know. It's very, very...
It's smooth enough that it goes down, so most people would be able to shoot it, even if you don't want to.
I think it's a lot smoother than standard blue. I think it's a lot smoother in that respect, because it doesn't have that smoky peatedness.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, it's a different approach to the flavour, isn't it? They've not used so much of the peated whiskies, and they've used more of the lighter floral ones.
I think that's a more lowland quality then. Because my lowland origins, sorry about the yawn there, actually outright stated floral, sweeter flavours, which is perfectly in line with
Dalwhinnie
lowlands.
is Highland though, so it's a bit different.
Dalwhinnie is a very smooth flavour as well.
Well, yeah, it is.
I think it enhances that, I think, quite well. Can't be denied. If it's Dalwhinnie 15, that's a banging flavour to have.
It is, yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to end our recording, so thank you for joining on YouTube. We appreciate you all giving us a listen.